welcome every participant, and I want to specially welcome my boss all the way from Land Republic, Lagos, Nigeria, Mr. Oluwole, the sales expert. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Favor. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the privilege to be here tonight. I mean, I can remember the first day you told me about it. That very day, I was just looking at my schedule. I was looking at my calendar, and I realized that I was actually supposed to travel today. I was supposed to be out of Lagos today, but I had to cancel that trip because of this training. And that is because I have a personal assignment to communicate sales and sales strategies to young business owners and I mean, people across different entrepreneurial races, especially when it comes to sales. And I take my assignment seriously. So it's a privilege to be here tonight. And I can assure you that you're going to learn something that is going to remarkably change the way you have always done your business and the way you have always gone about sales. All right, so without further ado, I wouldn't want to take much of your time because I understand the value of it. And if there's something I would also love to do tonight, I'd like to give you question-tailored answers. When I say question-tailored answers, I mean I would like to listen to your questions. I would like to get your questions. What is the area of your business that is giving you challenges the most, especially when it comes to you making sales, converting new clients, and I mean converting strangers. It is my own experience in my years of selling real estate to high net worth individuals. I have sold to my friends, my family, and even the people I'm meeting for the first time. You know, I have practically turned strangers to friends, and I've turned strangers to customers in my line of business. And this is why many people have asked me how I do this, and it has called for a lot of So tonight, I will just start by this, right? Many times, many businesses are built for profit, and profit can only be gotten when you have customers. Profit can only be gotten when you have customers. And several business owners, young business owners, new business owners, and old business owners, one of the major problems of every business is when they run out of customers. And it has been my experience. I mean, I have been there before, where I was running a business and I didn't have customers. But today, the reality of my business is that I am tired of customers because I have too many of them to even attend to at the same time. So how did I go from having little to no customers to filling my customer funnel to a point where I always have people to sell to? So I am going to be giving you very simple steps tonight that you can take through. And I'm also going to be touching one or two places about sales skills generally that can really, really help you when you are negotiating, or when you are persuading, or when you are closing your client. So now, basically, I do not like to teach with notes or slides because I feel they are boring. So I love to teach with people. I'm a trained educator. So I love to talk to people, and I can see that you're listening to me. I can really, really learn from what I am talking about. So tonight I'm going to be talking about how to meet your customers. So one of the best ways, like I have said, to transform your sales life is to always not run out of customers, especially if you are a startup or you are selling a customer-based product. When I say a customer-based product, something that you always need a direct customer to buy from you. Something that you always need a direct customer to buy from you. And for many of you that are doing your businesses here, I have an understanding that the demography of people here, you're either young business owners or you're an entrepreneur in some way. I want you to understand that there are two ways you can do sales. There are two ways you can do sales. And one of the first ways you can do sales is to sell a product of $1 to 100 people. Is to sell a product of $1 to 100 people. Now, when you sell a product of $1 or a product that gives you $1 profit to 100 people, that is $100 profit. Are we together? That is you have $100 profit. Now, that is you have to look for 100 clients to give you money so that you can make $1 profit per person, right? Now, the other way to do sales is what I call the high ticket closing. I'm an high ticket closer. I don't sell small things, right? Look for a product you can sell, for example, for $1,000. Look for a product you can sell for $1,000, and that product is going to give you a certain percent of commission. Let us say 100,000, 10% commission. And just by selling to one person, you're going to earn the same $100, right? Now, the first one is going to make you meet with people that can only afford $1 products. But the second way of selling is always going to make you meet with people that can afford $1,000 worth of products. So what am I trying to say? Whatever you're selling, make sure that you channel it to the high ticket, make sure you channel it to the high net worth individuals. I don't know the product. Okay, so let me, to make this class more interactive, I would like you to type an example of what you are selling in the comment section. Type me an example of what you sell in your business so that it can help me to give examples as I continue the sale forward. It can help me. You sell beddings, oh, perfect, right? So now, bed sheets, good. Now, for somebody that sells bed sheets, for example, you can either look for somebody that is going to buy your bed sheet, let's say, for example, for $50. Let's say you sell shoes, you sell smartwatches. Oh, perfect examples. Perfect examples. Now, look at this. You can either look for low quality smartwatches to sell to people that are, I want to say broke. Let's say to sell to people that are broke, right? And then at the end of the day, you have a lot of clients that can afford what you are selling, but these people may not have the ability to repurchase from you. But let's say, for example, you sell perfumes. Like the last time I was in Dubai, I went to several perfume stores and I saw some perfumes that were cheap and I saw some perfumes that were expensive. Now, because I'm a salesperson, I went to the store where they sell the perfume that was expensive. Now, this is what it does to me. When I enter that store and I order a perfume and I meet somebody in that store, naturally I know that for you to be in this store to buy a $300 perfume, it means that you are a wealthy person. And those are the kind of people I want to network with. Now, when it comes to sale, the number one thing that I always advise everyone to make sure that they get correctly is to make sure they sell to everybody you know. So now, you're selling perfume, you're selling liquid soap, right? You're selling smartwatches, you're selling shoes, and you're selling cakes. The number one question I want you to ask yourself is, does everybody you know about your product? Does everybody you know about your product? Sales is a game of numbers, and I don't want you to sit in a place. Many times, what many of us do is that we just sit down on our phones, we upload our products, and we expect customers to come to us. Sometimes we tell our friends in the church, we tell our friends in the mosque, we tell our friends in different places about what we sell once in a while. Now, I want you to note this and note this well. Sales is, I explain sales as something that is a do or die affair. I mean, you have to be able to do sales like your life depends on it. If you want to function in a way that you will always have customers, you should be able to do sales like your life depends on it. So the number one point I'm going to give you when it comes to expanding your sale is maximize the power of the people you know. Maximize the power of the people you know. Maximize the power of the people you know. You know, this may sound like cliche, trust me, but if you don't know, sometimes, many times, there are people you know, there are people on your contact list that can buy what you are selling. But because you have not put a call through to them, because you have not told them what you do, you think that normally when they need what you want, they're going to come to you. For example, I sell real estate, and I have been privileged to meet a lot of people in my journey in life, right? Now, this is what I do. Every quarter, I make sure that I make a phone call to everybody on my contact list. Some of them, I am calling them to remind them that I sell real estate. Some of them, I am calling them to tell them and inform them for the first time that I'm selling real estate. Let me ask you, if anybody you know right now, let me say, for example, I can see Tata Jingla, right? Let's say Tata Jingla, you're selling cars, right? And then somebody talks to your friend about buying cars. Are you going to be the first person that will come to mind? If you have not done your sales to that level, you have not started. You see, for everybody that knows me today, across Africa, across the Middle East, when they think of real estate, the first guy they think of is me. That is because I have given them what I call the overexposure when it comes to understanding that when you think of something, there is an identity that comes with it. Because trust me, the same thing you are doing, there are several people that are doing the same. Yes, you are selling cars, but there are several people that are selling cars. You need to be able to create a brand identity that when people want to buy cars, you are the first person that comes to mind. Now, the power of what? The people you know. I'm going to give you somewhat like an assignment. From tomorrow, I have a list. So this is what I do. I write a list of everybody on my contact list. I write their name, I write their phone numbers, and then I write their feedbacks. So for example, I call Mr. David. I say, hello, Mr. David, my name is Wale. Mr. David is there, of course, I know you, Wale. And I say, Mr. David, I just want to remind you that I am still in the business of real estate. They say, of course, I know. The truth is, even if they knew, when you call them to tell them or remind them, they now know, or they will now have you in mind to be sure that when anybody talks about real estate around them, they are going to refer them to you. So make sure that you let everybody you know what you do. And never be ashamed of your hustle. Never be ashamed of your business. You see, I've sold a lot of things before I started selling real estate. There was a time as an undergraduate, I was selling ladies' underwear. I was selling underwear to ladies, and I was the best guy at it. I mean, I was selling in that state and outside of the state that I was, because I told everybody that I knew about what I was doing. There was another time I was selling something else. I told everybody I knew about what I sell. There are some of you, you own businesses. The moment you start talking to a stranger, I cannot talk to a stranger for 5 minutes and the person is not going to have an idea of what I do. It's not possible. So instead of you trying to or waiting for customers to come to you, make sure that you always put yourself in the faces of customers. Like I always tell my sales staff at the office, I let them know that there is no best product. There is only best advertised product. You may want to write that down. There is no best product. There is only best advertised product. You sell liquid soap. There is no best soap. There's only best available soap. You sell perfumes and body spray. Oh, there are better perfumes. Make sure you sell good perfumes, but make sure that you are the best selling perfume person in your scope of influence. I have a lot of friends that trade cryptocurrency, that sell, that deal in Forex, that deal in oil and gas, that deal in shipping, importing, exporting. In the midst of all of them, I am the only one that sells real estate. And everybody in their circle knows that there's a real estate guy in this circle. So I want you to put yourself in a position where you are not shy of what you do. You are not ashamed of what you do. And you are not, you see, I always tell people, right? You cannot be broke and shy. You have to choose one. If you are broke and you want to get out of it, you cannot be shy. Because a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Always talk. That is why you must not lack courage. I talk to strangers every day, and as I'm talking to you, strangers pay me every day. I have practically met people at different places. Let me tell you one of the examples of the things I do, right? Mr. Favor knows that I love to wear good suits. I love to wear good suits. I love to wear good shoes. I love to wear all of these things, you know. I mean, I work for them. So sometimes when I'm visiting the store where I buy my shoes, I make up my mind that today I'm going to make back the money I use in buying this shoe from this store. And this is what I do. When I walk into the store and I see somebody that I feel like this person can buy my product, I walk up to them and I say, hi, sir, my name is Wale. I sell real estate. Now, people are going to tell you no. Trust me, it's not as easy said as it is done. People are going to reject you. People are going to say, I'm not interested. But you know what no means? No means next opportunity. When somebody tells you no, you move on to the next opportunity. For many of you that have read from Brian Tracy, there's something he called the SW rule. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting. So I want you to be able to talk to everybody you know, and I want you to be able to talk to strangers without holding back. So that's number one, the people you know. Now, another very important thing that I have found out that many business owners have not really maximized is the power of referrals. Oh my God, referrals have given me so many customers that I cannot begin to imagine. I cannot begin to explain to you what referrals have done to me. Remember, I started from you telling everybody you know about what you do. Then number two, the power of the people your people know. Leverage. Sometimes when I talk to people, I say, I sell real estate. And they say, you know what, I can't afford real estate right now. I don't have the money right now. I don't waste time trying to poach them, because if they really have the money, they would have bought. So what I do is, yes, sir, you may not be able to buy right now, but do you know somebody that can buy? Let your friends refer you. If you're in business and nobody have given you referrals, then I don't think you have started business. If you're in business and your customers don't refer you, there is something wrong. So make sure that when you sell to the people you know, also sell to the people your people know. See, referrals are the best ways to sell. Why? Because they already trust you. For somebody to refer you, they feel like, oh, this person trusts this person. And it just takes that trust barrier out of the way. And what do? You go right to closing the sale. You go right to closing the sale. Tell them, I do this, I do that. They'll just be asking for details and you collect their money. The power of the people your people know. And I'm going to talk about the power of the people you don't know. You know, it's a general saying in Africa. I don't know if it's popular in Cameroon. There's a general saying in Africa and in Nigeria. When I was growing up, they used to tell us not to talk to strangers. My parents used to tell me not to talk to strangers because, of course, strangers could, you don't know them, so you should not talk to strangers. Guys, as I'm talking to you tonight, strangers are my highest level of revenues. Strangers are my highest level of revenue because I have mastered the art of talking to people that I don't know. I started this about 5 years ago. I gave myself a commitment to always talk to one new person per day. You see, as a businessman, you can't be content with the people on your contact list. You can never be satisfied. You cannot be satisfied with the fact that, oh, you know 100 people. 100 people know you. 100 people are following you on Instagram. You see, as much as I have a lot of followers on Instagram, I still run ads. I still tell people, oh, follow me on Instagram. I still talk to strangers every day. And that is why, as a salesperson, now, some of you may say, okay, I'm not a salesperson. I don't really know this sales thing. I'm just selling bed sheets. I don't really need to learn sales. Now, the thing is this. Every successful business owner has to be a salesperson. Every successful business owner has to be a salesperson because you have to be able to sell. You have to be able to sell your ideas. You have to be able to sell your visions, both to the people you want to employ and to the people that want to buy from you. Except you are treating your business as a means to an end. Except you are treating your business as a trade. Now, there's a difference between a trade and a business. A trade is something you are just doing to make profit so that you can have food on your table and move on with life. But a business is something you are doing to build a brand, build a company, and build a narrative for your generation. And if what you want to do is to build a business, I strongly recommend that if it's possible, you take sales classes. If it's possible, you stretch yourself. Some people, I've met some people that say, Mr. Wale, I'm shy. I cannot really do sales. I don't think sales is my thing. I don't think I can do it. And you want to have a business. I don't know how you want to do it because sales is not joke. Business strives on sales. If you cannot ask people for money, go home. Sales is an art where you ask people for money constantly because you have a value you are giving them in exchange. You ask for money from your client. You know, I bet a lot of people that you're trying to sell, why am I seeing this liquid soap on my screen? You're trying to sell liquid soap to someone, for example, and you have told them all the awesome opportunities to your liquid soap. You have told them all the awesome advantages of buying your liquid soap, and then when it's time for them to buy, you are scared. Some of you you would assume that your customer just wants to buy 1 unit. That's one of the mistakes salespeople also make. You know, you want to sell a product of $2 million to a client who is worth buying a product of $200 million. You don't know what's in their pocket. I would never assume that a client wants to buy 1 unit from me. If I assume that your client wants to buy a lesser unit, that is called closing. Now, I believe you and I know that sales is ambiguous. Sales is not what we can finish today. Sales is not something that we can start and finish. But I want to give you a bro. That is why no matter the question you have in your mind tonight, no matter the obstacle you have been facing in your business, right from when you started or right now, I strongly advise that you put your questions, write it down in a note. And when it's time for question and answer, don't be too ashamed to drop your questions here, because your questions are going to point me to what I feel your business needs. And because I'm a versatile business person, I have done several kinds of businesses before I started real estate. I can probably give you ideas on how to scale your business from where you are right now to where you want it to be. So never be as afraid of strangers. Strangers are your biggest resource. You know, W.B. Yeats said something. He said, there are no strangers. There are only friends you have not met yet. There are no strangers. There are only friends you have not met yet. So what am I trying to say? As a business person, give yourself a commitment to meet at least one person per day. At least one quality person per day. I call it OQP. Only quality people. Only quality people. And how do you meet only quality people? You go to quality places. You go to places where you meet people of like mind. Because I believe that the things that can change a man is association and information. You see, the kind of people you associate yourself with determines the kind of person you eventually become. And the information you have access to is dependent on the kind of people you listen to. So if you don't intentionally carve the kind of people in your association, you're going to be having the wrong information that wouldn't take you to where you want to go with your vision. So guys, intentionally carve your association. As a salesperson, you need to do it like your life depends on it, because it does. All right. So now, I am just going to I have given you 3 points on how to meet customers. And now, these are the points that I extensively explained in my book. But because I do not have a soft copy of it online yet, you may not have access to it. But when I have a soft copy of it, I'm going to make sure that I reach out to Mr. Favor for it to be reachable to everybody on this call, right? So now, I've given you 3 tips right now on how to meet your customers. Because whether you like it or not, your money is in the hands of your customers. Your money is in people's pockets. Do you know what I do? Anytime I want to buy something new, for example, I want to buy a house, and the house is worth 30 million naira. I think to myself, who can I sell a product of 400 million naira to that would give me a 10% commission of 40 million naira that would make me buy this house? They are an opportunity for me to buy the house I want to buy. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say in essence is this: never be afraid. You see, sometimes business owners, especially African business owners, I realize that many times we are just shy. We don't know how to ask for money. Sometimes you have given somebody value and you don't know how to ask for money. Sometimes you want to ask someone for money, and then you're asking for something small. You're like, okay, sir, how many units are you buying? Excuse me. How many units are you buying? Are you going to buy one? I would never pitch a product of 1 unit to my clients. You know, I sell land, so I sell in plots, I sell in acres, I sell in hectares. Sometimes when I'm talking to my clients, I start from acre deals. I'm like, sir, if you buy 4 acres right now, and they'll now be like, oh, no. Oh, no, I can just go with 1 acre. Now, the truth is this, that client might have probably come to me because he wants to buy 1 plot. But Dele Carnegie said something, put people on a pedestal to live up to, and they're going to live up to it. But because I mentioned acres, he wouldn't want to downplay himself, and he will end up buying 6 plots. That's 1 acre. So as a business owner, you have the power to control the narrative of how and what people buy from and what people buy from you. That is where in my book I spoke about the power of suggestion. Sometimes your customer don't know what they want. For example, you sell bed sheets. I think I saw someone that sell bed sheets, right? You sell bed sheets. Do an offer. If you sell 1 piece for $20, do an offer 2 pieces for $38. Always make sure that you are giving customers a perception to feel like they are getting more for less. People will always patronize you if they feel like they are getting more for less. Sometimes I just tell my clients, I'll give you 100K discount, and they would rush to buy, forgetting the fact that I'm the price determinant. I'm the price maker. I don't know why I feel like I should take your questions now. Maybe the direction I may be directing my class may not really speak to your need or speak to that aspect of your business that you want to expand on. So if you have questions regarding to how you want to expand your business, regarding to sales, kindly put them in the chat box. Kindly put them in the chat box. If you have questions, put them in the chat box. Now, the reason for the questions is this. So some of the tips that I've written down to teach with you tonight, most of them can only work with high ticket closing. Let me say, for example, create value questions. So this is a way you sell high ticket product to people by asking them high value questions. Now, for example, from most of what you guys have listed here, it may not work for selling those kind of products, so to speak. It can only work when you want to sell, for example, you want to sell a car of $40 million. You want to sell a house of 100 million naira. You can create value questions around them so that it's going to help you know what the client needs. For example, before I talk to any client, I was talking to a client earlier today, and I was asking him, hello, sir, if you want to buy a house right now, what will be in that house? And he began to describe the kind of house he wants. When he began to describe, I began to understand the kind of house he wanted to buy. So I already knew the one that would fit into his budget and what he wants. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is why I'm saying you can probably drop your sales questions in the chat box so that I'm going to deal with them with regards to meeting your needs, right? Another one I listed here is when it comes to sales, it is not about you. Many times, salespeople keep talking about themselves. Sales is not about you. Sales is about your client. No matter what you're selling, no matter what you're selling bed sheets, you're selling cars, it's about them. So everything I'm talking about when I'm talking to my clients is about my clients. How it can make money for them. How they can buy a product now for 2 million and that product will be sold for 10 million in the next 5 years, and how they can make returns on investment, how they can make, how capital appreciation is going to be of advantage to them, and how rental values is going to be of advantage to them. That is what I always sell. That is what I always sell to clients. So when you're selling to your clients, it is never about you, it is about them. It is never about you, it is about them. So always speak to what is in need for them. What is in need for your clients? What's the profit for them? What's the safety for them? What's the security in it for them? Always get always get to speak to what is in need for them. I also listed one here, get in their shoes. Always talk to your clients as though you are in their shoes. So sometimes your clients can give you objections. For example, in my industry, I get a lot of objections because my industry is not regulated, and a lot of people have gotten their hand burnt in the real estate industry. So when they give objections, I don't object. So sometimes people may give you objections. They would say, for example, you sell cars. They would say, no, all these kind of cars, I don't trust it. The engine is bad, blah, blah, blah. Never object your clients. Never object your customers. Agree with them. I agree with my clients a lot. And it has made me close more deals than ever. When a client tells me, real estate companies in Lagos, I don't trust you guys, especially the guys in Lekki. Oh no, I don't trust you guys. And I'm like, actually, sir, I share your sentiment. I know how you feel because I used to feel the same way, before I became a developer. And when I started my business, when I started my company, I realized that the way to solve the problem is this, da 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 da. Do you get? I have made him feel at home. I've made him feel like it is not abnormal for him to feel the way he feels, right? So he feels more comfortable with the fact that I made him feel like I know what he feels. So I put myself in his shoes. So when you're selling to your clients, always put yourself in their shoes. Always put yourself in their shoes. All right, I'll attend to the questions now. I hope you are listing all these things down. All right. Okay, the first question here says, from Quinta Timuna, it says, how can you convince a client who thinks your product is too expensive to buy from you? All right, so there are different ways that you can approach this, right? Now, the fundamental is probably you are talking to the wrong client or you're talking to the wrong person. Now, let me tell you something about prospecting, right? Some people are prospects, some people are suspects. Some people are prospects, some people are suspects. Those that are prospects are prospective customers. They have the possibility to buy from you. Those that are suspects, they look like your customers, but they are not your customers. I mean, in my own experience, I've been able to filter because I live in one of the high-priced environments in Lagos, Nigeria. I live in Lekki. I live in the heart of Lekki, Lagos. So every day I see wealthy people. I mean, my neighbor next door is extremely rich. So I have lived amongst people that are wealthy. I mean, I know how much we pay per week as service charge in my house. I mean, it is extremely crazy. So I live with people that are extremely wealthy. I already know their behaviors. I know how they are. So when I go out and I see somebody that looks like a wealthy person, but is not, I know it. So it may be fundamental, right? You're probably talking to the wrong person. And see, there is nothing like an overpriced product. Never let any customer make you feel like it is overpriced. There is nothing like an overpriced product. You are just talking to a client who your product's price is beyond his budget. Oh, did you get that? There is nothing like an overpriced product. You are only talking to somebody whose budget is below your pricing. You are only talking to somebody whose budget is below your pricing. And that is why you need to offer beyond your product. You need to offer beyond your product. When I say offer beyond your product, I mean sometimes there's something I call EBA, EBA. It is called emotional bank account. I deposit in my customer's emotional bank account. Let me say, for example, somebody wants to buy from me, and I feel like this man has an opinion that my product is overpriced than someone else's product. Do you know what I do? I'll send the person prayers. I would pray with him. I'll say, oh, sir, God bless you. When they give me the objection that this price is high and stuff, I'm very honest with them. I say, ma, the truth is, see, quality differs. And let me say, your product, for example, somebody has felt like a product is overpriced. Let them understand why it has that pricing. And sometimes, see, it is just Sometimes when my clients say my product is overpriced, one of the things I say is this. I'm like, ma, the truth is, I honestly wish that I could reduce this price for you. In fact, if left to me, I would bring down the price. But you know what the market is saying right now is, you may not know this, but we that we are in the industry, we understand the quality. And for me, I wouldn't compromise my standards. I'm not going to sell fake because I want to sell for a lesser price. That is why I've gone the extra mile to make sure that I get you the quality that you deserve, even though it comes with an extra price. So the truth is this, you can go ahead and buy from someone else, but this that I'm giving you is going to be the best you're ever going to buy. And the truth is this, your only regret when you buy from me is that you didn't buy more. I can assure you, you will never have regrets with the quality of the product. And this is what has made many of my clients love me. You see, talk to their emotions. They're going to buy from you. So it could be either of these two. Number one, you're talking to the wrong person. I said some people are prospects, some people are suspects. And another thing is prospects are also divided into two, right? Some people are your prospects for now, and some people are your prospects for later. So some people are your prospects for now, some people are your prospects for later. So you also need to understand that, right? In my industry, I sell real estate. I mean, I don't have any client that is broke because I sell in millions of naira. So if you are broke, you can't buy from me to begin with. So I have separated the prospect from the suspects. But there are some people, they would say, oh, they want to sell one of their cryptocurrency. They want to do this, they want to do that. I can tell and I can see that this guy has the money to buy, but he doesn't have access to that money at that time. Do you get? So I'm not going to discard that particular prospect because he's my prospect, even though he cannot buy right away. Do you get? So some people are your prospects for now, some people are your prospects for later. I should also be able to identify those that are your client. Don't spend a lot of time with time wasters. There are some people that are time wasters. They're not interested in buying, and they're just going to give you a lot of objections to get you out of the way. In fact, do you know that in my experience, when people give me objections like, let me talk to my wife, I'll get back to you. Do you know what I tell them? I tell my prospect, I say, sir, many times, when clients tell me they want to talk to their wife, they are not interested in buying and they want to blame it on their wife. Many of them would laugh. They would say, no, now. I'll be like, because I'm a professional, I wouldn't want to disturb you. When do you recommend I check back on you? They would say, then I would suggest, I'll say, sir, can we do next week Friday? They'll say, no, I'm busy on Friday. Let's do Saturday. I'll say, all right, I'll call you on Saturday, 12 p.m. They'll say, no, let's do 10 a.m. You see, I have gotten out a meeting and a time by suggesting to them, which they would normally have not given me. So I kept suggesting until they are adjusting it to their own time, and I'm getting a meeting anyway. So you need to be able to identify those that are your clients and those that are not your clients at all. So people are just time wasters. They're not interested in buying. They're just wasting your time. Meanwhile, there are some, depending on your response. When someone tells you, I can guess that what you do when someone tells you your product is high, just tell them, sir, it's not high, is this, is that. Do you get? And then you sweep that sale under the carpet. No. When someone tells you your product is high, sometimes they just want to test the mathematics behind your pricing. And there are a lot of entrepreneurs that also do not understand pricing. You buy a product for $10 and you just want to sell it for $20. Do you get? At the end of the day, you may not even make profit because beyond pricing, there's something called cost. Have you factored in the cost of transportation to the market? Have you factored in a lot of other costs that brought about the arrival of that product? Do you get that kind of thing? So some people are just wasting your time, right? And there are some people, they just want you to defend your pricing, right? So it's not that they are saying it's expensive. If they say it's expensive, prove to them that it's expensive. I have not talked to a client before that has told me it's expensive and I did end up collecting their money. I end up collecting their money because I explained to them why it is for that price. And most of the time, they agree with me. I make them understand that the quality they are getting, they're not going to get it somewhere else. I make them understand that this is the best product in the market. I make them understand why and how I came about that price. I hope I was able to answer your question. Let's move on to the next person. please, sir, I would like to get more insight on how to grow a venture that renders services. For example, a venture that offers professional development training for organizations or corporates. Okay, so I think that this also works. The same strategies that I've spoken about in the earlier part of this teaching also works for you, right? Make sure that everybody you know what you are doing. Everybody you know. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Your pastor, your lecturer, your colleague at work, I mean, your pastor, your lecturer, your next door neighbor. You know, something once happened to me. I was living in Chevron Lekki at that time, and my neighbor walked into my office to buy a product from my colleague. And this guy had been my neighbor for 1 year because I didn't tell him what I was doing. So my colleague met him randomly and he bought property from him, about 7 million naira, which could have been my transaction. But because I didn't tell him. So I think you should start from the people you know. Start from the people you know, leverage on the people your people know. And if you are doing your business on a large scale, for example, put some structure into your business, right? If you are a trainee, if you are a trainer in the aspect of finances, if you're a trainer in the aspect of mental health, you're a trainer in the aspect of, you have a niche, then put some kind of structure in your business. Then you can also do cold prospecting. So there's something called talking to the people you know is warm prospecting. Talking to the people you don't know is cold prospecting. I used to do that a lot when I was selling high-end products, a lot of high-end products. Product of 200 million, 500 million, you know. I used to go to LinkedIn. I would go to LinkedIn, I'll go to Facebook, I'll go to people's profiles, I'll go to organizations, I'll send them mails. Do you get that? I want to see their boss, I want to see their CEOs. Do you get? So for this kind of service, I think you should do a lot of cold prospecting. Cold prospecting, go to LinkedIn, organizations around you, see, there's one thing I tell my staff, right? You cannot be unfortunate every day. Send 20, 50, 100 emails every day to 100 organizations. By the time you have sent emails to all the companies in Cameroon, many of them will get back to you. Okay, so send emails, and in your email, don't just type something mediocre. Don't tell them we do trainings, no. Say something affirmative. When I write an email to people, they are propelled to reply because of the way I compose my messages. If I was in your industry and I want to write a professional email to a company that I want to come and train them. Now, training is not what I do for money. I'm here for free, right? I don't charge people for money, but there are places I've gone to. So now if I was in your industry and I train people for money, I would write such a compelling email that the company is going to call me. Imagine an email that sounds like this. Let me use Mindshift, for example. Imagine an email that sounds like this. Dear Mindshift, I'm writing to you because I've seen the awesome work you do on social media and in Cameroon environs. I feel that your organization will be privileged to have me come with my wealth of knowledge and experience to expand the horizon of your staff to better understand their work structure and their workspace. Many of my clients have given testimonies of how their staff increased in productivity and results after my training with them. Let me know if you think we can have a meeting. You can fix a time, and my team and I are going to be there to discuss the terms. Yours faithfully, blah, blah, blah. There is no organization that is going to read that, and they are not going to want to call me. So when you're also typing your emails, that is why you need to invest in talent. Look for copyrights, look of copywriters, digital marketers that can help you compose something compelling. You see, this world is about sales. Everything we do is connected to selling. If you're unable to sell yourself, your ideas, your product, you're not going to move anywhere. Sorry. If you're unable to sell yourself, you're not going to move anywhere. So for the kind of venture, however, I would say that this person should send me a message. I would say this person should send me a message on Instagram. I'm trying to write my undo. This person can send me a message on Instagram. Let's talk about your business. Don't worry, I'm not going to charge you. It's free. When I'm charged, we are We're going to talk about putting structure in your business and how you can move your business from where you are right now to where you want it to be, that kind of thing. So yes, I hope I was able to answer your question. So I'm trying to look for the other questions. Because if you render services, I think you're even in the best position because you need to talk. Your business has to do with talking. Your business has to do with convincing people, persuading people. And I mean, that is one of the most interesting things you can do, right? So, cold calling, right? Cold calling. Text people. Never be afraid to send that email. How can you develop knowledge? It has been difficult for me trying to create content for real estate. Oh, wow, my people. How can you create valuable content? So many people have asked me how I get to create a lot of valuable content for real estate. So I think it's something that comes naturally and it comes from a place of passion. Right? Meet yourself if you're not talking. Thank you. So I think it comes from a place of passion, right? For me, I just have a way, the way my mind works, I have a way of creating content with everything around me, right? If something is around me, I just create the content with it. I don't know. I create the content. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense. I put it out there and people love it and that kind of thing. Do you get? So it comes with you being very immensely soaked into what you do. Now that's the only thing you think about. I mean, if I close my eyes now and I want to rest my head, the only thing I think about is real estate. Do you get? So I think that it is important for you to have immersed yourself so much in what you do because naturally it's going to assume around you in every other thing. And also you can also train yourself if you think that is not the kind of person you are. You can also intentionally train yourself. You can get books. You can get books on how to be creative. I think I saw a book recently on creativity. You can get books on how to be creative, and then YouTube is free. So YouTube is one of the places where you can really go, look for how to be creative, how to create content, how to meditate. You get, because it's from meditation sometimes I get inspiration to create content for whatever you do. So I think you can maximize social media as well. You can maximize, for sure, I know you can maximize YouTube, get a lot of videos, a lot of content that can help you on how to create content, that kind of thing. And it's really going to help you because the future is content. People now relate more with content than with just regular adverts. Nangavera, how do you do people complain that product are expensive? All right, so I spoke about this earlier when somebody asked about product being expensive. Your product is not too expensive. You're only talking to someone whose budget is below your pricing. Your product is never too expensive. You are only talking to someone whose budget is below your pricing. Your product is never too expensive. You're only talking to someone whose product, whose budget is below your pricing. And you also need to be able to separate your suspects from the prospect. And you also need to understand that there are prospects for now and those are prospects for the future. And you also need to know how to answer this question. So sometimes it is an unspoken objection. This person is telling you your product is expensive. The person probably just wants to understand the rationale behind. Number one, make that person thinking. When someone tells you your product is expensive, the first thing you do is, my product is not expensive. Yeah, it's cheap. You don't know that they are selling it for so price. Yeah, you are complaining. Please, no, you don't need to be defensive. Just make them understand that it is not abnormal for them to feel that way. But I'm like, yeah. Understand how you feel, you know. Yeah, I know how you feel. They talk about, yes, I'm listening them down. All right. Respect. Yeah. How do you convince customers of products? You convince customers by selling. All right. So how do you convince customers of your product? Create value questions. I said create value questions. I said get in their shoes. Another thing I'm going to really highlight for you, Tatiana, is don't sell the features, sell the benefits. Don't sell the features, sell the benefits. So let me say, for example, you sell cars, right? Instead of saying this car is 4-wheeled tire, blah, 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 you can rather say on an expressway, this car can make you get to faster in a place where you can drive, so, blah, blah, blah. You will get to a place. For example, in my industry, if I want to sell a house to someone, for example, I wouldn't tell you it has 4 toilets, it has 2 bathrooms. No, that's not my business. I'll tell you, sir, the truth is this house can make you 4 million naira in a year on rental values. And the truth is this that is going to work. I break it down. And this person really sees the benefit of them buying. So don't sell the features, sell the benefits. Sell the benefits before you tell the price. So sometimes you should sell the benefits before you sell the price. And when your customers ask questions that are relating to price, tell them about the benefits. So when customers ask questions that are relating to price, tell them about the benefits. When you want to tell prospects about what you do, tell them the benefits first before you tell them about the price. Because sometimes when you tell people about the price first, it just blocks their face. They don't see anything else. Do you get that? Price just blocks their head. But when you tell them about the benefits first, they're going to understand where you're coming from by the time you talk about the price. And so how to convince clients on your product. So I am also going to give a point on that. Something I also explained in my book. I called it Wale Agda model. I called it Wale Agda model, ACDA. Wale Agda model, ACDA. So the A is for attention. Make sure you get your client's attention. The C is for curiosity. The D is for desire. And the A is for action. So this is how it works. If I want to sell to you, the things I must say must get your attention. Immediately I get your attention, I'm going to tell you what your experiences will be like without my product. That way I am arousing your desire. Like, remember, I get your attention. I tell you my products can do for you. I tell you what you are losing out if you don't buy my product. So that way, most times at this point, people always want your products more than they want their money. Then you get them to take action. That's closing, right? So I'll give an example. If I'm trying to, I want to give an example. If I'm trying to sell liquid soap, for example, I would say, hi, sir. Have you ever wondered buying a soap that is more if? Tell me about it. I've gotten the person's attention. I say, sir, this soap is a soap that when you use it, just a drop in the water can foam up your washing experience, blah, blah, blah. And then I tell them, sir, after you finish using this soap, it gives the fragrance to your blah, 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 blah. They would want it. Then get them to take action. Don't just tell them about the benefits and leave it hanging. Ask them, so sir, are you interested? How many units are you buying? Are you interested? How many are you buying? When should I deliver it? Do you get? Many times, those people will tell people about what they are selling, and you won't ask, you won't get them to take action. You won't get them to take action. So yes, and then this person, Tatiana, I think you can also send me a message on Instagram so that whatever challenge you come across on selling generally, you can send them to me and I can send you links to either my YouTube videos or links to answers that you may find on selling. Do you have lazy days? If yes, how do you feel about such days? Oh yeah, so Quinta, I have lazy days. I mean, there are days I don't want to do anything, and that's the truth. Now, naturally, my mode, I'm a hard worker, right? Work is my default mode. I love to work. I really love to work. So, but there are days when I just want to rest. I just want to relax. Not because I'm tired, but because I feel like, oh, in the past few days, I've really, really worked out myself. in the past few months. I mean, the last time I went to Dubai, I intended to go there to rest. I still ended up working. I still went to different sites, just checking out international real estate market. Do you get? So I have lazy days. There are days I don't want to get out of bed. But there are days I don't want to get out of bed, but I have to do what I have to do. I have to get out of bed and go about the day's business. And it's okay to also relax many times. It's okay to rest. You can schedule it into your life where you just maybe once in a while or once in a blue moon, where those times are dedicated to you resting, meditating, reading, and just reflecting and not buzzing up your days. And yes, never stay in the defeated. Like if you feel like you just had a failure, when you fall, make sure that you don't fall on your face. Make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. So yes, I have lazy days, but I rest on my patient leads on social prospect. You can run ads and direct people to your DM. They're going to come to your DM. Trust me, it works. And also you can cold prospect. See, the place, sometimes I just go on social media and I just search names, or I go to a celebrity's page and I check everybody that is following that guy and I send all of them message. If you send message to 50 people, 5 people will reply. It's a game of numbers. You get? Depends on what is the content of that message. I sent the kind of code prospect, that's chatting people up on Instagram. Some people at first, they just want to reply you and play with you. But depending on what you see, if the things you are seeing are eating them, they want to patronize you. They want to buy what you're selling. Because they can feel your energy, they can see. Right now, if I chat somebody up on my Instagram right now, if I send them a message and they chat me many times, they always end up buying from me, because at the end of the day, they come to my page, they look at my highlights, they look at the activities. And my page is a really interesting page to come to. Also, yeah, make your Instagram, don't make your social media presence boring. Make it a place that when people come to your page, they are stuck there. And that is how my page is. When people come to my page, they are stuck there. They see a lot of things, a lot of activities. Wow, so this guy does that. You get? So that way, they build some level of trust. They are like, oh, so he's a human being. He can't run away. He has a lifestyle. That kind of thing. So yes. Sir. You guys are calling me sir too much. Before doing a promo. Any tips? Oh, okay. So promo strategies, right? Go back to your drawing board and never do a promo that will make you not make profit. Go back to your drawing board. If, for example, on a product of $100, if your promo is $20, if your profit is $20, don't take off $20. It's okay to take off $5. It's okay to take off $7. Anytime you are considering your pricing at first, always have promo in mind. I don't know if someone got that down. When you are putting prices on your product, always have promo in mind. For example, I'm selling a product of 5 million naira. In my pricing, I have put promo in mind that it will get to a point, I will probably do 10% discount. 10% discount is 500,000. So, which means regardless, I'll still be making profit. So when you are pricing your product, always have promo in mind. And when you want to do promo, don't promo yourself into non-existence. You get? Always make sure that you have safe promos, and you can put your promos around. So for promo strategies, put your promos around events. Put your promos around events. Put your promos around happenings. For example, my company, we did something recently. My country is having an election next year, and then we say, oh, okay, if you have your permanent voter card, you can get a 5% discount off all of our properties. GK, people jumped at it. That is an eventful promo, a promo that comes with an event. So some people that want to buy property and they don't have their permanent voter card yet, they probably want to run to get their permanent voter card because they don't want to lose out on the promo, that kind of thing. So you can do events, I mean, when there are festivities, I mean, the traditional festivals in your community, you can do a promo to that regard. The generally accepted celebrations in your community, you can do a promo to that regard. Do you get? All of those things are eventful and people just love to do sales around that time. You can also do a promo around your personal events. Let's say, for example, you are getting married. Let's say, for example, it's your birthday, right? You can say, oh, this week I'm doing a birthday promo. I'm slashing so price, but never slash yourself out of business. Never give a promo that is going to hurt your business in the long run. Make sure that even as you are giving a discount, your business is going to make profit just fine. Your business is going to make profit just fine. So I've answered all the questions. I don't know if there are one or two things from me tonight. You're welcome, my favorite. You're welcome. By the way, I like your names. I think I'll come to Cameroon to get a Cameroonian name. I like your names. Yes, please ask your questions. I can't hear you, Mr. Favor. If you are talking to me, I can't hear you.
Thank you so very much. It was amazing. That same energy I saw, I felt it again.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Favor.
I guess the participants have.
My energy is contagious. That's right. Yeah. So yes. So let me say something about energy, right? Yeah. Sales energy. So if you are not confident, people are not going to have confidence in you. So sales is energy transference. Sometimes I begin to talk to my clients, and as I call them, I hear, hello, sir. Hello, sir. And I'm like, hello, are you okay? You know, I want to change the tone. I want to change the atmosphere of the sales. Do you get? And you know, sometimes in between, I'm hilarious. I make a light joke. I just want to put them in a better mood, because that way it has made many of my clients want to talk to me. In fact, these days, sometimes I just intentionally put my phone on flight mode, because a lot of my clients love to talk to me, whether it's business or not, because they know that when I talk to Wale, it elevates my spirit. Although many of them, when they talk to me, I end up collecting their money. Because, I mean, there was a guy that called me one time, and he called me to confide in me on something personal. And trust me, I was able to lift up his spirit from that mood. But he transferred to my company's account, because just right after the call, I said, that's right, Mr. Paul. And I have this product that you will love. But no, I don't want to talk about it today. And he's like, no, I should tell him about it. And I told him about it, and he paid. Do you get? So your energy means a lot. So your energy should not be such that people don't want to pick your call because your energy is boring, you may weigh down their spirit. No, your energy should be such that people want to talk to you. And as a salesperson, that's an advantage. People want to talk to you. They see your energy and like, wow, awesome guy, man. I love to talk to this guy. Before you know it, you would have sold to everybody in your village because your energy is contagious. Yeah. So.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Problem of creating content. How can I overcome that? So I said you can take courses online. You can take courses online about copywriting, content creation. You can also use YouTube. YouTube is a free tool to help you overcome that. Yeah, because what works for me is I'm just a very open-minded person, and I create content with everything around me. People that know me know that I don't rehearse, I don't practice, I don't say I want to practice. This class, I did not practice anything, do you get? Because I have a spontaneous overflow of powerful examples that flow through my head every time. So I am confident that anytime I come speaking, I would always deliver value. Do you get? Or anytime I want to create content, something will always come. Sometimes I have writer's block. I want to create a content on something and I'm like, I don't have any caption for this thing. I just leave it. When I'm doing something else, that caption will just come, and I will go right ahead and do it. Do you get? So you can really, really maximize YouTube and online social networks to learn how to create content. And yes, one of the ways you can also learn how to create content is to follow people that constantly create content. So go and follow me on Instagram. When you see my content, you'll be getting ideas on how to create content on your business. That would really help you.
No.
Learned a lot, sir. Thank you very much. We hope to have you more often. You just appetized us today. Yeah, actually. So, sales is bigger than you and I. It's not something that we can break down in a day. And sales is contingent, really. I mean, it is my experience that sales does not have a root to it because clients are different. Some people, clients are just different, but you just need to learn some basic principles that when you put them to use, you're going to really, really see how it's going to transform your sales experience. Like you're going to love it, that kind of thing. So I'm glad you got value. Thank you. Thank you. Apart from real estate, which other industry did you do sales in? All right. So I started out I was selling services. So I started out by being a teacher. I was a teacher many years ago. And from then I started selling services. So I started registering students for a particular program in school. So I was always selling to the parents to come and register their students, their children. So that was how I started selling. And I've sold in the fashion industry. I've sold clothes. I've sold ladies underwears. I've sold men underwears. I've sold a lot of those things in the past. In fact, I sold ladies underwear so much that ladies preferred to always buy from me than to buy from my lady, from a lady counterpart. So I've also sold. So growing up. So there's like a bit of twist to my story because I have foster parents. I was a teenager, so I have then also transitioning into real estate. I've also sold quite a number of other things. I've had to sell myself at some point. I've had to sell my ideas. I've had to sell my opinions. I've had to sell my work ethics just for people to accept me that I have a good idea. So I'm currently a sales support of tech company that I'm an e-commerce tech company. So what we are selling there is we are selling a tech version of a social media platform combined with e-commerce. So so currently I deal in real estate and I deal in tech sales. Money magnets. Yeah, I'm interested in real estate, but I don't know how to go into it. All right, this person can send me a message on Instagram. Let's see how you can go into real estate. I think I also have a friend in Cameroon who does real estate. Let me see how I can link you guys up and how you can maximize real estate market together in your country. Thank you for sharing. Pleasure. A pleasure. So, Mr. Favor, do we have any more questions?
Ooh.
All right, I can